I'm stuck. Your Wi-Fi? Oh no, I think it might actually be mine. Ooh. Ah. Ah. Yeah, I think it was my Wi-Fi. But if it's back then it's okay. Sorry about that. I think it just a reset. Yeah. A reset. Oops. My bad, my bad. Give me a second, okay? I need to respond to some stuff. I'm gonna try get something in the banner. I don't know. Whose banner is coming out? I don't know. I forgot actually. Uh, I think I'm gonna try just cause you know. I'm me. I can't help it. I roll for everyone, even if I don't really need or want them that much. Yeah. I have no self-control. You know, something that I did see recently, which like I don't know if it's true or not, but it was something about Scaramouche being playable. Yo, when that happens, I will actually, I will spend all my money on that bitch. For real, for real. Oops. Well, I did also see someone saying that his an animal, which makes no fucking sense. So I don't know. Oops. Yeah, it makes no sense. I think it would make sense for him to be a lecturer, right? Like it wouldn't. It doesn't make sense to be the wind thing. Animal. That's the name. I know. It doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know if that's true or not. I would guess it's not. do hope that he's playable though. I'll be very happy. And I also hope they don't do like a redemption arc. He's evil, he shall remain evil. His charm is that he's evil. I think it's that one. Hold on. What? It's true. I don't want redemption like for everyone. I actually don't want redemption like for most people. It's gonna be so good if he becomes playable. Ah! No. Ah! Oh, I can't. Oh, my aim is so low. Where am I? Oh no. Oh wait, it's not. Oh, okay. Wait, what? What? I'm so confused. Where's the thing? Where's the thing? Okay. Okay. You. Come back. Bam, 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 bam. Oops. What? Okay. Ah, my aim is so slow. I'm back. It's going to be sometime in the future. I hope so. Did it not drop anything? I see. I'm so lazy to go collect these. Okay. Also, I was never able to get to this one. I got there, but I couldn't get to the domain. And now I don't remember how to get there anymore. So we pretend it just never happened. No, I want this. Ugh. So annoying, get out of my way. Thank you. got to the top of the mountain. I have to go like through the inside of the mountain to get there. But I couldn't reach to the main. I just couldn't do it. It was very sad. Wait, who am I supposed to? Star, where? I don't see it. Oh! Okay, I can get that. This shit. Blah, 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 blah. Ah! Don't hit me, I was stealing fairies. Ah! Bro, just thank you. Easy. Easy, easy. The more that I can steal? I don't think so. Okay. Now we just collect our everything. And yeah. Right, da 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 da. Huh? What? I guess I entered a quest by accident. Okay. I don't want to actually. I just came to collect my rewards. Oh my god. So long. I don't care about your story, my man. I'm sorry. Wait, oh my. Why is it so long? I didn't mean to do this. God. Okay, in the meantime, if you guys, I don't know, should I end stream or should we do something else? But I don't feel like playing Genshin anymore. Been going for I don't know how long anymore because my thing reset. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh god. Oh, it's not done yet. Thank you. Oh my god, a pretty fan? Nice. Okay, where is it? Where the fuck am I? Oh. Okay. Where's the guild again? There? Oh, there we go. Oh.
星と深淵を目指せよっ無事今日の依頼を達成しました
What's this? Huh? Oh, okay. Well, we can do test run for everyone so I can get my primitives. Nice. Oh yeah, also wait, sorry. Yeah, movie night is on Sunday. We're gonna be watching Genshin on the Discord. Oh yeah, have dinner, but I mean I can have dinner later too. It's okay, it's only 8 p.m. I'm not that hungry because I ate the cake. Bum, 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 bum.
次の仕事は部外者禁止
Oh, I missed.
次の仕事は相関化粧
Oh, she's so pretty. Yay. So now we leave. Then we do it again. Kokumi. Kokumi so I love Kokumi. She's adorable. To me, Kokumi is a lesbian. No one can change my mind.
行きましょう は
Oh, she's so pretty. Ah. How dare you? Wow. So pretty. I always forget she's a healer. What? Come to my... Like... Hey, oh. Let's go. Birthday Electro? This guy from a second team. Nice, nice. Good luck with your pose. I'm gonna try to get her just cause she's pretty. That's the main reason I get what the eh? What? What is that? Oh. Huh. I don't know if I like this character that much. He's kinda weird to play. What? What is guy's ult? Huh. Huh. Oops. Oh yeah, did you guys also see? I don't really do the Spiral Abyss, and I also don't do the Ascension quests. I wonder like when I decide to do it to what rank I'm gonna go. Whatever. Yeah, see? My adventure rank is still 45, but I have this much EXP. And I also don't really do Spell Abyss. I don't even know how much I did. Oh, 46. Yeah. Oh, but I'm lazy and I have to level up other people. And then the real level gets hard, and then I'm lazy. I'm lazy. Uh,
超拡散形態。そや。ほう。安全距離確認。吸引テスト開始。へい。
oh,
無双の風シミュレート。
we.
そや。はっへいや。じゅっ。そや。ほう。超拡散形態。メガネが粉々になる。はあ、安全距離確認。吸引テスト開始。へい。はっほう。へい。そや。7号式モジュール。はあ。ひゃっほう。はっはっじゅっ。へい。
Wee. Okay, I think we have one more. Okay, let's see. Okay. You. Ugh. It's getting really hot again. Oh, oops. Oh, my perception of the
Come, 形はすっきゃはっひっ左右ルコーへいふんはっひっへいはっややはっはっふっへいやひっこの剣はわかるかいはっ雨描きがたしふんへい
Oops.
迂回を錦となれ。
Bye.
やったやや形は精神と共にこの剣はわかるかい。股間奥義。
Oh. Actually, I'm gonna try to see if I can get to Sumeru yet, or if I have to do more quests. I feel like I have more stuff to do before. The okay. Is how do I see this? Not this again. Oh, this one I'm too lazy to do. What's this? I don't know. Oh, okay. How do I get there? Uh, this is Arkham Quest? Oh, I see. Too lazy to do that. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop Genshining. I don't know. Should I do something else? I don't know.
以上。
Okay, wait, let me just quit the game. Quit the game, quit the game. There we go. Oh. You know, I actually, cause I don't, I don't want my VOD to be so short. God damn it. Okay, how about this? I can go grab something for dinner, and then we watch YouTube together or something. You guys okay with that? I don't know. I don't want to play anymore, but also I want to hang out. Yeah. Okay, okay. Heading to bed. Okay. Good night. Good night. Good night. Thanks for coming today. Why is my chat so big? Yeah, thank you, thank you. Take care, Lynn. Sleep well. Okay, I'm gonna go get food now, okay? Bro. Stick my head, stick my head. Okay. Oh, let me just put some background music. So you don't just sit in silence. Do you guys know Seth? She's a singer that I really like. You're gonna listen to some of her songs. And then maybe something else because it's audio cue. Okay. I'll be right back.
always perfect. I think I could be falling. It seems just like a dream come true. I feel so at home. The way he's looking at me. The universe was made for two. But it should have been you. But it should have been you. I keep putting makeup on just to fall asleep in it again. Kissing strangers, asking their names, no, I'll just forget. Falling in love with everybody, getting drunk at a pity party. It should have been you. It should have been you. You only text back half the times I text first, but you're the one who offered me a number. Where you put that you had something from me? Was it genuine or just out of pity? You only have time to talk when it's about you. Invite me to hang out and always let it fall through. Do you only say you like it publicly? No head around what the hell are we? Am I convenience or a pet? A pal or second thought? Am I a nuisance or a threat? Are we friends or not? Did you mean it, then regret it? Was I always a blind spot? Have I not forgotten approach it? Are we friends or not? You get excited about me, I let it get to my head. I'm confident until you leave me on red. Did you ghost me? Did your lip was not level? Did you realize I'm 100% wrong? You say you'll be there for me, but I can't ignore the truth. You're only here when nobody else sees you. I feel like the second best you've ever had. But second best of two is actually just last. My convenience or a pet, a pal or second thought. Am I a nuisance or a threat? Are we friends or not? Did you mean it, then regret it? Was I always a blind spot? Have I not forgotten approach it? Are we friends or not? I'm the last thing on your mind, but the first to call. You know I drive to you through all the mixed signals. You look at me like I'm the best thing on the earth. When there's no one else to look at, is that really all I'm worth? The only thing I'm taking are the shots you call. So let me ask you, are we friends at all? Am I convenience or a pet? A pal or second thought? Am I a nuisance or a threat? Are we friends or not? Did you mean it, then regret it? Was I always a blind spot? Have I not forgotten approach it? Are we friends or not? Remind me because I forgot. Are we friends or not? Send flowers to my funeral, 'cause I know when I die, I'll lie in my coffin and pretend that I am on your mind. I used to go unnoticed. I used to go unnoticed. Send flowers to my funeral, 'cause I know when I die, I'll lie in my coffin and pretend that I am on your mind. It would be nice. Send flowers to my funeral, 'cause I maybe just wanna die. It would be nice to go unnoticed, that I'm seeking attention. Send flowers to my funeral, 'cause I know when I die, I'll lie in my coffin and pretend that I am on your mind. I used to go unnoticed. I used to go unnoticed.
Thank you. Are you okay? You probably touched your food.
Have you grown up? Did you get used to me? I hurt myself with your past, just so I can feel the heat again. Are you too tired to say you wanna sleep with me? I'm missing when you miss the time you didn't get to be distant. Reading old texts, making up medicines and my own contentment. Wishing you'd still let your adoration spill in the things you said. Say what you mean, don't confuse me. Are you sick of me or not? Have you not messaged me 'cause you're busy or because you forgot? Are you falling in love? Are you running out of time? Tell me, do you not care for me anymore? You're not thinking about me, I'm thinking about the possibility you really ain't that sure. Please stay forever, I just suffer. I look back into yours and mine. So can we be honest, are you falling in love and are we running out of time? Running out of time. Am I a chore? You brush under the bed. Would you rather not talk or talk to someone else instead? You're too polite, or so you think you are. To say it to my face, we'll dance to silence in the car. Reading old texts, making up medicines and my own contentment. Wishing you'd still let your adoration spill in the things you said. Say what you mean, don't confuse me. Are you sick of me or not? Have you not messaged me 'cause you're busy or because you forgot? Are you falling in love? Are you running out of time? Tell me, do you not care for me anymore? You're not thinking about me, I'm thinking about the possibility you really ain't that sure. Please stay forever, I just suffer. I look back into yours and mine. So can we be honest, are you falling in love and are we running out of time? Running out of time. Yeah, I'm running out of ways to ask you how you're feeling. wanted to love you. Never thought I'd even try. Until we became comfortable like clockwork every night. Then I exhausted the part of my brain that you kept preoccupied. I'm sorry for wasting your time. I warned you of the bad. I'd never be worth that much, but I guess we were both happy. What do I feel guilty? We both saw this coming. I paid for the risk you took on me. The tender poems and things that you said, the thoughtful playlists you curated, all the life and love you lost on me. When you said there's nothing that you regret, did I make you wanna change the subject? 'Cause you pour so much, but I'm still empty. I'll stay and hurt. All my homes have been uprooted. It's the last place that I'm suited to be. For what it's worth, visitors can come and go, but as long as I call this home, I'll ache safely. I'm not asking you to fix me, I'm just asking you to wait. I'm still healing from my broken heart. My first love's name is pain. Though you're kissing all my bruises, they're still there for you to see. I hope your rose-colored glasses pass the places where I bleed. Saw your first day, I let you too close. Sorry if I hurt you. It's the only thing I know. You've always loved so fully, with all your heart and mind. Anyone who has you undividedly has every second of your precious time. What is it I'm missing? It's like everything is fine. You're perfect, proud, affectionate, except I'm where you draw the line. Where you draw the line. All the things you lied and loud about. Why am I always the odd one out? I know that I'm the darkest part of us, but you don't have to be so obvious. Did you forget? Past, present, future, I've always left behind. Whenever I need you, that's where you draw the line. Everything you gave them, you never had for me. I'm always stuck behind what you put in between. Here we go again. Always was behind everything I leave unsaid. Can't go a day without wondering when I'll let it die before turning it red. Bleed for me, honey. I always see the worst, and it's kinda funny how it gets by the first. It's not my choice for this much noise to cloud my brain. It keeps me paranoid, so I just raise my voice and break my toys, 'cause it's either destroy or be destroyed. I can't control myself, it's all dread. Trust me, I've tried. The things I live are free inside my head. Go there to die.
Hi, I'm back. I'm sorry that took a little too long. Oops.
Could you
Okay, hold on. Let me. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. Okay. I'm gonna make myself a little bigger. Okay. Do you guys want oh wait, this is distracting me. Do you guys want model? Are you okay with PNG? I don't know. Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna enable tits again. Yay! Let's go. PNG is Pog. It is. It's very cute. Why does it not capture the my Chrome? So annoying. Annoying. Okay, wait, let me keep in PNG. I'm gonna make myself a little bit bigger. There we go. A little bigger, and then oh yeah, tits. I need to enable tits. Give me a second. We try to find tits because I don't know where to put it. Okay, make it big, and then boop. That should be good enough for now. I think maybe. Okay, it's working. Okay. Now let me just enable the thing on Twitch. Oh, I also you guys make sure to stretch and eat and drink water. Yeah. Wait, what? Sniffies. I give sniffies. Where's the thing? There you go, enabled. Okay, should be working now. No, I just need. Where's my screen? Ah! That was a lot. Bro, hold on. I need to. I need to lower the volume. Where is the volume? Jesus. That scared me. Thanks for the redeem, I guess. Let's see. Why does it not capture my window? Mm. Mm. Okay, well, I guess maybe we'll need to do display capture again. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, there we go. Ah, now it worked. Okay. There we go. Okay, let me I might want to block this. I don't know. Okay. Hopefully this works. Okay. Wait, I'm gonna have to turn on my phone, I think. Let's see, what shall we watch today? I don't have anything interesting I recommended because I just listen to music. Uh, thinking. Oh, maybe. Maybe we can do cat videos? Question mark. See what they have. Okay. I really don't have. Bruh. Okay. Cream heroes. Ah. Cream heroes is so cute. Okay, we're gonna watch cat videos until I decide what else we can watch. Actually, wait. We can we can watch what's it called? BuzzFeed Unsolved. Yeah, that's fun. And I don't have to think too hard, which is good. We all like BuzzFeed Unsolved, right? I watched it once and it was super fun. I love BuzzFeed Unsolved. Do you guys want true crime or supernatural? It's your choice, your choice. Don't tell me to choose. I don't want to choose. True crime? Okay, okay. Let's see. True crime. Oh, there's so many. I don't remember which ones I watched. Right now. Wait. Okay, give me this one.
No. It's one of the most mysterious and creepy cold cases of all time, pretty much. Okay.
So the time is December 1948 in Adelaide, Australia.
All right.
A
Do we
body
need
is found on Somerton
subtitles?
Beach
Do
dressed
you guys want
immaculately in a
subtitles?
suit
I
with
can.
polished
Okay.
shoes and is head leaning against the wall.
Okay, first
The
is the
suspected cause
volume.
of death was
Okay.
heart failure, but more likely poisoning. However, the
Let me-
autopsy showed no trace of poison. The last thing he had eaten was a pasty, which I'm assuming
I
is
can see
Australian
the
speak for a
size.
pastry.
Okay.
You mean
Hold
he
on.
didn't eat the little thing that comes on like women's nipples?
What the fuck?
That's what a pasty is.
There was no wallet, no
What the
ID.
fuck?
All the name tags on any of his clothes had been snipped off.
Oh, that's weird. So far, I've been like, okay, this seems just like not that crazy.
Pretty much the story is guy found dead on the beach, and hold on, it gets fucking weird. Oh yeah, and then the fingerprints that they took from him, unidentifiable. The guy was off the grid. Nobody could identify the body. They put it out in newspapers.
Well, I mean, are your fingerprints in a database?
Don't they do it when you're born?
No,
Are you sure?
they do not fingerprint you when you're born.
Either way, his fingerprints were unidentifiable.
Okay.
And the weird thing is, it was on the news of just people saying, "Do you know who this is?" And people came, lots of people from around the world came to look at the body, and they couldn't identify it. So they just didn't know who he
How
was.
many is lots of people? People are taking selfies of the body.
Yeah, this is 1948, so.
Oh, you didn't left out that part.
Oh, I said that at the very beginning.
Does it get weirder? Because it doesn't seem that weird.
All right, fast forward to about 4 months later. They find in his trousers a sewn-in pocket in his waistband. It's like a secret pocket. And inside the pocket, they found a rolled-up little piece of paper that they believed to be from a rare book called the Rubaiyat. The piece of paper had the printed words "to mom should" on it, which translates to "it is ended." So maybe they thought, okay, this could be a suicide. But who would kill themselves with an untraceable poison?
Most people don't put their suicide notes in secret pockets. You want people to find it, right?
Anyway, so now they're searching for this book, the Rubaiyat, to match up to the piece of paper found on the Somerton man. But they can't find it, so they just bury the guy. His body is taken a cast of so they could look at it later. He's embalmed just, to preserve him. Okay, so now we're 8 months later from when the body is found. A man walks into the police station with a copy of the Rubaiyat. His story, by the way, is fucking bananas. He claims that just after the body was found, he found a book in his car that he kept parked by Somerton Beach. But at the time, he thought nothing of it until he heard about the search in a newspaper article. The book has part of the final page torn out, and sure enough, it fits the piece of paper found on the Somerton man.
Oh,
That
kind
paper
of sus.
book.
From that specific book.
From that specific book.
Like, that doesn't check
I
out.
was, hey, I think I have that book you're looking for 8 months later.
Yeah, no.
So, they look at the book, and there's a phone number in it and some kind of strange code. So we'll talk about the phone number first. So the number leads them to this woman, Jessica Thompson.
Okay.
Who, by the way, is nearby this area. And when they interview her, she's very evasive, and apparently she was reportedly going to faint when shown the bust of the man. The whole interview, she's just crying, but she denies knowing him. She did say that she gave the book, the Rubaiyat, to a man named Alfred Boxall. So they thought, oh, Alfred Boxall, maybe that's the name of the Somerton man. And unfortunately, Alfred Boxall is actually still alive. And he, not only that, but he does have a copy of the Rubaiyat. Later, it was found that Jessica had a son. They don't know who the father is, but this son shares very similar dental and ear similarities to the Somerton man. Now going to the code that was written in the book. The code is even less helpful. Today it is still yet to be cracked.
How do we know it's a code?
Because it looks like a fucking code. So, I mean, and that's pretty much the fucking end of the story. Like, and now there's just all these questions, like, who was the man? They think maybe may have been a spy.
If he's a spy, I don't think it could be murder. I don't think it could be murder anyways, because you don't kill a person and then just leave him there. Like, that's just the worst murder job ever.
Or the greatest. I mean, technically, it would be the greatest because we still don't know who did it, or if he actually was murdered. That sounds like a good murder. A murder that's so good that you don't even know if he was murdered or not is, to me, a perfect murder.
Then we're done. We're done. We're done. Great for making me mad. You basically just told me a story with no ending. A really good story, and then...
Well, I mean, it has an ending. It's just not the one you wanted to hear.
Bruh. Okay, next one.
So what's
These
the
are
name of this?
pretty short.
This story, in my opinion, may actually be creepier than the last one. On the evening of March 31st, 1922, 6 residents of the Hinterkaifeck farm in Bavaria, Germany were murdered with a pickaxe. Husband and wife, Andreas and Kazila Gruber, their widowed daughter, Victoria, and Victoria's 2 children, Kazila and Josef, as well as the Gruber family maid, Maria Baumgartner. I couldn't find like a super credible news source that covered this, but there are so many accounts of it online, it obviously happened.
So this is just fucking fan fiction someone
No,
just
this isn't.
wrote. Of, like,
There's pictures, and there's like records of it in Germany.
you work at BuzzFeed, you don't know that you can't doctor pictures?
Dude, these aren't doctored.
Okay, all right, let's get into it.
Just to give you a little picture of the scene, 2-year-old Yosef was murdered in his crib. The family maid Maria was murdered in her bed. The rest of the family, though, had been slaughtered in the family barn.
So 4 of the families killed in the barn, and then the baby, 2-year-old, and the maid are left killed in their beds.
Exactly.
Oh.
So for some reason, the rest of the family was killed in the barn, and they were found stacked on top of each other.
Safe to assume they weren't already stacked on top of each other and then killed, but they were killed and then stacked on top
And
of
then
each
he
other.
killed them all in one fatal strike.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it didn't happen that way. This is where shit starts to get fucking creepy.
Okay.
Whoever did this, and this is honestly just disgusting, actually stayed in the house for several days after he murdered the entire family. And we know that he did this because in the week that followed the murders, cattle were still being fed, meals were being eaten in the kitchen, neighbors reported seeing smoke rising from the chimney, and then the family dog was tied up outside the barn when the postman came on Saturday. The bodies were discovered, by the way, the next day on Sunday.
So that's why he moved them to the barn, so he could continue living in the house.
I just feel like you murder an entire family, you want to get away from there. This guy felt the need to make himself a sandwich. Anyways, another creepy detail of this is that Maria, the family maid who was murdered in her bed, she'd just been hired that day. That was her first day on the job, to replace the previous maid who quit 6 months earlier due to the house being haunted. You want to know some of the things that caused the other maid to quit?
No.
The other maid claimed she heard footsteps in the attic, voices, things like that. You know, classic ghost story shit. So she quit and the family dismissed her as just another wacky lady with wacky thoughts. You know, see you later. But surprise, 6 months later, now the family starts hearing footsteps in the attic. And then Mr. Gruber, you know, the head of the household, he finds an unfamiliar newspaper in the house that he'd never seen before. The set of house keys go missing. He also finds that the family tool shed has been scratched up. It's like someone tried to pick the lock.
Is that where they kept the pickaxe?
Exactly.
No! Really? They kept the pickaxe in a tool shed?
Where else would you get to keep a pickaxe? And finally, footprints are discovered by Mr. Gruber in the snow, leading to the back of the house coming from the woods, but there's no return footsteps. They just go straight to the house. Whoever walked into the house didn't walk back. There was no money taken because there was large sums of cash found on the farm, so they were pretty sure that this was a crime of passion. For suspects, they really only had one legitimate guy, and it was their neighbor, Lorenz Schlittenbauer.
It can't be the neighbor. Think about it practically. If he's running his own farm, when does he have time to live in someone else's house and like wake up in the morning to feed his cows? It's a 6-man
That's
job
true.
that one person was doing.
Mr. Schlittenbauer believed that Victoria's son, Josef,
2-year-old.
yeah, the 2-year-old, he thought it was his son. He'd been intimate with Victoria. However, the son was later discovered to belong to Andreas Gruber.
What?
Josef was the product of incest, meaning Andreas
What the
Gruber played
fuck?
the horrifying role of father and grandfather. Also, another little
Yeah.
factoid to round off this week of serious bad luck for this family.
Uh-oh.
When the family's heads were removed to be studied in the autopsy, they lost the heads. So
What
that
the
meant
fuck?
the family had to be buried headless.
Dude, it's 1922.
How do you
Things get
lose?
lost.
That's 6 heads. That's so many heads. How do you lose that many heads?
Government, man. What happened to the house after? Did anyone move in?
They demolished it
Oh my, I
a year
forgot
after the
them.
crime had happened.
To
Just so there's
change.
not this
To just change.
terrible monument of murder in their neighborhood, and they put actually just a monument now, like a literal monument,
That's nice.
to commemorate the family.
I'm just trying to find out who did it. Who done it? That's the question.
Yeah, I mean, still unsolved, and I don't think it ever will be solved.
Wait, let me fix this.
All right, let's fix the camera. So today we're driving to the Stay on Main Hotel, or as it was formerly known, the Cecil Hotel, as part of an ongoing series where I tell this guy true crime stories. And today we have the privilege of actually going there because it's in LA. And
There we
this
go.
place happens to be the site of one of the most bizarre mysteries I've ever read. All right, so we're in our hotel room now. I guess it's time to tell this story.
In a giant red chair that's shaped like a hand.
So on January 26, 2013, 21-year-old Canadian tourist Elisa Lam checked into the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles.
Oh, this is
February 9th,
recent.
18 days from the last time she was seen, Elisa Lam's body was found naked and floating in a 4-foot by 8-foot water tank on the roof of the Cecil Hotel where she was staying.
This sounds horrible.
You want to know what it was that led to her discovery? It was hotel guests complaining about the low water pressure from the hotel.
Yikes.
One couple after the fact reported that the water would come out black before normalizing and that it had a bad taste. But didn't complain at the time
so
because
gross.
they thought that was normal for LA.
Are you gonna drink the water?
No, I'm not gonna drink the water. No, don't drink that. Come on, man.
Cheers.
Ew.
You're a savage. Tastes clean?
I mean, it has been 3 years.
Ew.
It tastes just like water, but it's too much for me to bear. I can't. Plus, there's like this weird fucking water pipe thing going on up here. Another interesting piece of info is from a statement from the hotel manager. And apparently, when Elisa checked into the hotel, she was originally in a hostel-style shared room, but later was moved to her own private room due to complaints from her roommates of odd behavior. It turns out the last time she was seen was actually on surveillance footage from the hotel elevator. I'm gonna show you the key points of it.
Show me. There's footage.
Yeah, what you're about to see is I
I
don't
don't
know.
want to see. Is there dead? I don't want to see anything.
No. It's weird. I'll tell you that. It's weird. All right, so this is the surveillance footage from the elevator. This is the last time she was seen. So that's her. Like, why is she? It like looks like she's hiding. I'm not sure what.
Looks like someone was chasing her, but I feel like you wouldn't get out of the elevator if someone was chasing you.
I mean, she appears to be moving her hands in like a really weird, inhuman way. Like,
How is the elevator doors not closed yet?
I have no idea. It almost looks like she's talking to somebody right now, right? Does it not look like she's talking to somebody directly in front of her?
Yeah. I mean, not directly in front of her, down the hall, but I mean, there's no one in front of her, so yeah. Okay.
That's the video. I mean,
Point one. That's strange.
That's
I'll give you that.
super strange, right?
That doesn't really give us any information.
I mean, it gives you some theories, though. One of which was she was on hallucinogens or drunk. And while Elisa was in fact bipolar and reportedly took 4 different medications for that disorder, this theory that she was on hallucinogens or drunk was quickly rebuked by the fact that her toxicology test results came back with nothing in her system that could have contributed to her death. So,
Yeah, but that if she's bipolar, just right there, that could explain why she was doing that.
it's possible.
Yeah.
Another theory was that she was actually.
That's not how it
but
works.
the autopsy showed no visible signs of trauma on her body. So if evidence suggests that it wasn't foul play and that it wasn't drugs, many wonder what could have like led Elisa to actually climb in the tank herself. And that's a good question because nobody knows even how she got up there. I mean, in fact, to get to the roof, Elisa would have to either A, climb up the fire escape, and there's 3 at the hotel, but you'd have to go out a window to do that. B, go through a locked rooftop door that would set off an alarm if open, and no alarm was heard that day. Once she even got up there, which at this point, after seeing that video, I think it's highly unlikely she was able to do that, but okay, fair enough, she got up there somehow. She would have to get on the tank platform, climb up a 10-foot ladder, open a 20-pound lid, get into the tank, and somehow close the fucking lid after she got in. And then you also gotta remember she was naked, so that means she either took her clothes off before,
Or the
somehow.
clothes never found,
The clothes were found in the tank. So she must have taken the clothes off in the tank.
or they were thrown in.
Or they were
afterwards.
thrown in, exactly, yeah. This whole scenario to me is fishy
Yeah, definitely fishy.
for her to have done that all herself. Another popular theory, and you're not gonna like this, but I have to say it, is ghosts. If you look at the video, it appears as if Elisa is talking to someone right outside the elevator, which has led some on the internet to believe that she's talking to the ghost of serial killer Richard Ramirez, who was convicted of 13 murders and stayed in the Cecil Hotel from 1984 to 1985. It's also worth noting that Ramirez was a known Satanist.
Absolutely not.
So you're saying you don't think there's even a little bit of a possibility that this place is a little haunted and it could drive people to do some crazy shit?
To me, it's basically like saying, so you don't believe there's a little possibility that the spaghetti monster did that? You know, like,
There's no recorded history of a spaghetti monster. I don't know where you're getting that.
show me the scientific journal in which they've posted all these ghost studies.
There is footage of things moving on their own.
Footage is not science.
There's no one that's like, I'm gonna be a ghost scientist.
Why not?
Because that's
There's
a weird,
footage.
Just think of that title on a business card. That's weird. I'm a ghost scientist.
Yeah.
And that's really just the tip of the iceberg for the Cecil. It also played home to Austrian serial killer Jack Unterweger in 1991, was the site of an unsolved murder in 1964, and was also, according to some, one of the last places the Black Dahlia was seen alive. And to pile it on even more, there have been numerous accounts of people who have jumped to their death from the roof of the Cecil to the point where longtime residents refer to the hotel as the suicide.
If anything, that goes against the ghost theory because there's already a recorded history of it being easy for people to get up onto the roof. Therefore, it must have been easy for her to get up onto the roof.
Let me check to see if it's actually the roof or if it's just jumping.
Oh, okay. Now you're changing your story because it doesn't fit your designed ghost story package. You see, you can't just
I'm gonna check.
change the facts in order to.
I'm gonna serve you up a fresh truth pancake right now. We'll see how you like it. Hold on.
I do like pancakes.
Jump to their deaths from the building. Never says the roof. Authorities ultimately ruled Elisa's death was an accidental drowning.
I'm just feeling bad for the family whose people are like.
How
And
is
that's
that
exactly what my next point was.
accidental
It's like lost in all the madness is the family.
Yes.
Who also actually filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the hotel, which
Good.
was eventually dismissed.
What?
But like I said before, the real tragedy is to the family.
So weird.
So today we're driving to certain spots in Los Angeles as part of an ongoing series
I
where
want-
I
I
tell Mr.
want,
Brent here true crime stories,
longer, but-
BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Unsolved.
Today's mystery is probably one of the most famous unsolved murder cases I've ever read. And enough with the pleasantries, let's get into it. On January 15, 1947.
Let's do this one.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we cover the mysterious disappearance of the Solder children. You look enthralled.
His
You look
face.
really excited.
I can't wait.
I think you're about to have your mind blown.
We'll see.
Okay, cool. Let's get into it. The year was 1945, on the night before Christmas in Fayetteville, West Virginia. George and Jenny Sauter, along with 9 of their children, were asleep when a fire started in the house at
Jesus,
around
9
1 a.m.
children?
George, Jenny, and 4 of their children escaped: Sylvia, Marion, John, and George Jr. The children that remained in the house were Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty, and the 5 of them shared 2 bedrooms between them, both rooms upstairs. George broke back into the house to save the rest of the children, but the staircase was on fire. When he went outside to retrieve his ladder, it was missing from its normal spot, and both of his coal trucks, which he wanted to use to park outside and climb on top of, were strangely not starting.
Don't park your coal truck by a fire. That's a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine there was coal in the truck at
Oh,
the time.
okay.
I'm sure it was emptied of coal.
Well, I don't know. It's a coal truck.
He just climbs on top of a pile of coal.
It's all just covered in flammable coal, jumping into a house. Bad idea.
Marion, one of the children who escaped the fire, ran to the neighbor's house to call the fire department, but the operator didn't respond, and when a different neighbor attempted to call, she also got no response from the operator. That same neighbor actually drove to town and found the fire chief, F.J. Morris, in person. But even though the fire department was only located 2.5 miles away from the home, the firefighters bizarrely didn't reach the Sauter house until 8 a.m., 7 hours after the fire began. And by the time they arrived, the house was literally ash.
Time to reevaluate your staff there.
You really see where your tax money's going there.
That's not like, oh boy, we really dropped the ball on that one. That's like
Yeah, I'm
firefighters
eating.
from
I'm
Florida
making a
could have
sandwich.
driven up there in time.
In their defense, it was Christmas Eve.
Oh, it's fine if people die
So
on
like,
Christmas
they
Eve.
tried calling. I'm not saying I'm condoning them for being 7 hours late.
Can
to
you
a fire
hear
that was 2.5 miles away.
It's just not not great.
In fact, I'm pretty sure I could run that in probably about an hour at least.
I could spit the fire out
I
in
could
that
probably
time.
chug a
I
beer
could
and
just
run
spit on the fire.
Authorities scavenged the ashes of the fire looking for the remains of the 5 missing Sauter children, but nothing was found, and they were presumed dead due to the fire. The fire chief, F.J. Morris, suggested that the fire may have been so hot that it completely cremated the children's bodies, including their bones. While that theory sounds reasonable, it is not entirely accurate, because when flesh is burned away, bones are still typically left behind, likely in fragmented form. Additionally, there was no smell of burning flesh reported during or after the fire. The cause of the fire was deemed to be bad wiring in the house, and in the week after, the Fayetteville Coroner's Office issued death certificates for the 5 Sauter children. The basement of the house still remained, and George would later use a bulldozer to cover it up with 5 feet of dirt to create a memorial to his children. Soon after the fire, George and Jenny began to suspect their children were not dead, but instead kidnapped, believing the fire was deliberately set as a diversion and not the result of faulty wiring. In fact, George had actually had the wiring in his house checked earlier that fall by the power company, which had deemed the wiring in safe working order.
Who said the wiring was faulty?
Somebody in the coroner's office. You'll see why they may have done this later, but
okay.
anyways. But before we dig into the theory that the children were kidnapped, let's discuss George's personal history to provide some context.
Ooh.
George Sauter had immigrated from Italy, and Fayetteville, where the Sauters lived, had a small but engaged Italian immigrant community, a community that George was very vocal in, especially about his disdain for Mussolini, sparking a few heated debates in the community. George also reportedly never revealed why he left Italy, leading some to speculate that he may have been involved in some shady business in Italy. Many believe that either of these reasons may have led to the kidnapping of George's children. Let's examine some curious occurrences that support a possible kidnapping. In the fall, just before the house fire, a life insurance salesman came to the house, and when he saw that his sale wasn't going to be successful, he became infuriated, yelling at George, quote, "Your goddamn house is going up in smoke, and your children are going to be destroyed. You're going to be paid for the dirty remarks you have been making about Mussolini," end quote.
Ryan, I think we've solved it. All right, well, it's been fun. See you later. I will set this house on fire, and your children are going to die. Who could it be? Who could have done this?
Seems a little on the nose for me. He just listed every single aspect of the case in nice, easy, laid out fashion.
House on fire, kids are gonna go up and yeah.
It was like the third act of a student film when they had to wrap everything up in exposition and dialogue.
Yeah. And this, oh shit, it's due tomorrow.
In the days leading up to the fire, two of the surviving Sauter sons witnessed a man watching the younger Sauter children come home from school on Highway 21. Another suspicious occurrence happened that night. On the night of the fire at around 12:30 a.m., the phone rang, and Jenny got out of bed to answer. This would result in an important observation. Jenny noticed the lights were still on downstairs. As she started to fall back asleep, she heard a loud bang on the roof, followed by the sound of something rolling. And an hour later, she woke to the smell of smoke entering her room downstairs. The detail that is interesting is the fact that the lights were still on. If the fire had been caused by faulty wiring, as had been suggested, then that meant there wouldn't have been power to the house, meaning that the lights shouldn't have been working. But Jenny saw that they were on about an hour before the smoke. And later, the Sauters would claim that they saw the lights on while the fire was occurring as well. Additionally, a witness to the fire claimed that they saw a man removing a blocking tackle typically used for removing engines from cars, perhaps explaining why both of George's trucks weren't working that night.
Did they, as their post-mortem, did they look in the cars to see if there were engines in them? No.
No. I mean, I don't think he removed the engines completely because it's not like he could waddle away with really heavy engines. I think maybe he just tampered with it, just pull a couple wires here and there.
Okay.
This is all a possibility.
It sure is.
Just presenting the case here, all right? After the fire, when the family visited the memorial George had set up, Sylvia found a hard rubber object in the yard, an object that Jenny believed may have caused the loud bang that woke her that night. But even more interesting was the fact that after further inspection from George, he believed the object was a napalm pineapple bomb, similar to those used in the war at the time.
I mean, it sounds like someone set the house on fire.
Yeah, it clearly does. I think we have enough here to say, someone probably set the house on fire. Probably was a faulty wiring. With all these strange occurrences and not believing that the fire could have burned her children's bones to ash, Jenny began to experiment by burning different types of animal bones, all of which left remains. She spoke to a crematorium employee who told her that in cremation, bones were left behind even after bodies burned at 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 hours, and the Sauter home only burned for about 45 minutes. Also noteworthy is the fact that remains of household appliances were found in the rubble, meaning not everything was ash. Mm-hmm. So clearly, there should have been bones left.
Should have been bones.
There have also been reported sightings of the children. One occurred that night while the fire was still burning. A woman claimed to see the children in a car that drove by while the fire was still raging. 50 miles west of Fayetteville, a woman who operated a tourist stop told police that she saw the children the morning after the fire. Quote, "I served them breakfast. There was a car with Florida license plates at the tourist court too." End quote.
Nice of her.
Yeah. At home.
Giving them breakfast.
Yeah, I mean, she's just
It's nice to have breakfast.
Okay, well, yeah, I agree. Breakfast is nice. I enjoy bacon.
Agree to agree.
What are we doing here? At a hotel in nearby Charleston, a woman reported seeing 4 of the 5 children about a week after the fire. Here's her statement to the police. Quote, "The children were accompanied by 2 women and 2 men, all of Italian extraction. I do not remember the exact date. I tried to talk to the children in a friendly manner, but the man appeared hostile and refused to allow me to talk to these children. I sensed that I was being frozen out, and so I said nothing more. They left early the next morning." A few years later, George saw a photo of New York City school children in a newspaper, and one of the kids looked like his missing daughter, Betty. George drove all the way to New York to investigate, but once he tracked down the child's parents, they declined to speak with him. In 1947, 2 years after the fire, George and Jenny attempted to involve the FBI, who offered to help, but in a curious turn of events, the Fayetteville Police and Fire Departments both denied their offer. What do you gain in denying to help the FBI? All you have to do is give a couple interviews, maybe? Like, what?
Yeah, there's a lot of paperwork.
How busy is this fire department?
They're
Apparently not.
probably not that busy, but that's probably how
So
they like
sussy.
it.
I think there's some shady shit going on there, but that's just my opinion. George and Jenny turned to a private investigator named C.C. Tinsley.
Yeah. C.C. Tinsley's here.
That does sound
What you
like-
say? No bones, huh? Sounds like a case for
So they-
C.C. Tinsley.
Apparently they got an investigator from a time machine. They dropped him back in a time machine.
1945, of
That's
course
not
he
how
said.
they did not
Oh,
speak
yeah.
like that. That's not how they spoke. in
Yes, that's how they
1945.
spoke.
One suspicious revelation occurred when Tinsley discovered that a member of the coroner's jury who decided the Sauter house fire was an accident was the same life insurance salesman who had threatened George earlier in the fall.
Who put together this jury? The coroner? We're putting together a jury to investigate this crime. Can you wrangle up all the maybe some lunatic salesmen?
By the way, is there no police officer that knows how crime works? Like, how did they not interview this life salesman, man? Like,
I don't know. Look, I'm telling you, nobody knows how to do their job in this town.
it's unbelievable. Like, so you're telling me he screamed in your face that he's gonna murder your family?
Interesting.
Sounds like a good dude to me. I don't know what you're talking
Let's
about.
put him on that jury.
Another interesting find occurred when Tinsley interviewed townspeople about the fire. Tinsley heard a rumor from the town minister that the fire chief had been telling people that he'd actually found a heart in the ashes of the Sauter home, and that he'd hidden it in a dynamite box and buried it where the home once stood.
Why does the minister tell rumors?
Tinsley persuaded the fire chief to show him where it was buried, but once dug up, the heart was actually beef liver and had never been in a fire.
Oh, darn it, I actually... That's my darn sandwich. No wonder that sandwich tasted so bad the other day. I mixed them up.
Why the hell the chief did this was apparently to provide some closure to the Sauter family. I guess you could say it's a heartfelt gesture.
Ryan?
Oh,
no.
shit.
No,
man.
no.
See you guys later.
Nope, sit down.
In August 1949, the Sauters hired a pathologist named Oscar B. Hunter, who excavated the dirt that covered the Sauter basement and the remains of the house. He found 4 shards of human vertebrae and sent this to the Smithsonian for analysis. They hypothesized that the bones were from a 16 to 17-year-old person. However, the oldest missing Sauter child was a 14-year-old boy, making it improbable that the bones belonged to him. They also stated that there was no evidence that the bones had been exposed to fire, and that the bones likely originated from the dirt George Sauter used to fill the basement, rather than the remains of the house. This was before DNA investigation had come into play, and according to the Smithsonian, the bones were given back to George Sauter, but their current whereabouts remains a mystery.
What did he do with them? Just
Exactly, no one knows. Huge tragedy that we can't DNA analyze those bones to see if they belong to the Sauter children. After the Smithsonian revealed their findings, West Virginia Governor Oki L. Patterson called a hearing in the state capitol building in Charleston, West Virginia, where he officially declared the Sauter case to be closed, telling George and Jenny that their search was, quote, hopeless, end quote. This led to George and Jenny setting up a billboard on Route 16 advertising their missing children, where it remained for nearly 40 years.
40 years. They're tenacious.
I mean, to be fair, if it was my kids, I wouldn't stop, and
Yeah, I guess if 5 of your kids have vanished.
Oh, and also a salesman screamed in my face, "I'm gonna burn your house down and
Yeah.
murder your family."
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I would probably keep searching. The billboard kept the story alive and mentioned details such as the children being kidnapped, the fact that the faulty wiring did not cause the fire, the fact that there was no bones or residue found, and lastly, accused the law officers involved of a cover-up. Quote, "What was the motive of the law officers involved? What did they have to gain by making us suffer all these years of injustice? Why did they lie and force us to accept those lies? End quote. People around town had various theories. Some believed the mafia had been involved. Others believed the children were now in Italy or that they had been sold to an orphanage. The family received a letter from a woman in St. Louis saying that the oldest missing daughter, Martha, was in a convent there in St. Louis. Someone in Florida also said the missing children were living with Jenny's distant relative. And the ever-diligent George Sauter investigated all these tips, but each came up empty. Another hopeful tip came in 1968, 23 years after the fire, in the form of a photograph sent to Jenny specifically addressed to her, not the family. There was no return address on the letter, but it was postmarked in Kentucky. The photo was a man in his mid-20s. George and Jenny believed this could be their son Louis, who was 9 at the time of the fire. The man in the picture had the same dark brown eyes, dark curly hair, strong straight nose, and upwardly tilting left eyebrow. On the back, it had a handwritten note. Quote, Louis Sauter, I love brother Frankie, Lil Boys, A90132 or 35, end quote. They hired a private detective to go to Kentucky and find him, but strangely, the detective was never heard from again.
I think that's the first time I've ever heard of a detective going missing. That's like a fish drowning.
And you know what's strange about this? On the internet, nobody seems to really care about this point.
When a detective goes missing, you've got some pretty powerful adversaries. I'd say it's time to quit the game.
Some on the internet have theorized the detective took the money and ran, but nobody knows what happened to him for sure.
I don't think the detective would have taken the money and run though, because if you're a private eye, unless it was if it was enough to survive for the rest of his life.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, why would that's?
He's probably built up a nice client base. He's got to throw his Rolodex.
It's not like that. Like they gave him $1 million.
Right,
it was probably like 5,000. That's what the
enough
poster
for a few
said.
sandwiches.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, those are some big sandwiches, but yeah,
Hey.
point taken. George Sauter passed away shortly after in 1969 at the age of 74, and Jenny Sauter passed away in 1989 at the age of 85. Sylvia, who was 2 at the time, is the last remaining Sauter child alive. She maintains that her siblings did not die in the fire that night. Jenny Henthorne, Sylvia's daughter, told the Times West Virginian to post any information on websleuths.com. Quote, my mom promised my grandmother that she would never let the story die. That's what my brother and I are doing now. End quote. After all these years, the question still remains. What really happened to the Sauter children that one fateful night? Was this truly the result of a tragic house fire? Or were the children actually kidnapped? Hopefully, for the sake of the remaining family, all of these questions will be answered. But for now, the case remains unsolved. I do think that there was some foul play at hand here.
Something's going on. Someone took those kids.
You think they're still alive today?
Maybe.
Because they're still out there, I think. I believe they're out there.
They would have to be, right? If you have a parent who ever told you that they were stolen in a fire and given a wonderful breakfast the next day, let us know.
You just...
I'm just glad you didn't blame it on aliens. No ghosts here, no aliens.
I mean, can you rule out that they were abducted?
No.
That's what I wanted to hear. It kills you. Look at it. Look at your face. You can't stand it, can you? I can see your jaws clenching.
Let's see. I think I'm gonna watch just one more, and then we go. This one's this one.
What do you suppose is in here?
I'm not looking in there.
Want me to look in there? What is it?
I don't know what the fuck that is. This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we discussed the horrifying Ketty Cabin murders. We're actually going to go visit the former site of the Ketty Cabin, which is Cabin 28. It's been since demolished. Strap in, because this one is rough. Yeah, this is...
Yay! I love when they go to the places to investigate.
That's something like a toddler says when they don't want to eat, like if they have like squash.
It's also something something adult says about a gruesome, gruesome murder.
I guess so. Let's get into it. On April 12th, 1981, in Keddie, California, the Sharp family and some friends went to sleep in Cabin 28 in the Keddie Resort Lodge. What occurred next would shock the county and is a crime that is still actively being worked on today. 4 people sleeping in the house were brutally murdered. So right now we're approaching Keddie, the site of this horrible murder. Worth noting, it's a town of 66 people. I'm not a gambling man, but I don't really like those odds.
Because they've never caught this person? Is that the...
Yeah, so we could conceivably run into this guy, you know, taking a dump in the woods or something.
Are we going to stop into town and tell them what we're doing?
No, I'm not gonna stop into town and tell them what we're doing. Are you fucking out of your mind? I'm starting to think you want to die. Which way do I go? Left. Oh boy, I think this is it. I can't imagine this is debris from the house. The house was demolished around 10 years ago because there were squatters and people like us that would come inside the house and try and stay overnight. Shit, maybe this is from the house.
Could
This looks
be.
like the bottoms of the foundation. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Look at that. It's like tile from the bathroom right there, it looks like.
You really turned the corner on that one pretty quick.
Yeah, but I didn't see it up close until... Oh my God. It's fucking horrifying.
There's an elk, though. There's a deer over there.
There's the remains and rubble of one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of all time, and you're looking at the fucking deer in the forest. As mentioned before, 4 people were killed in Keddie, 3 of which were found dead inside Cabin 28. Their bodies
Why
were
would
found by
they
Sheila
leave
Sharp.
all the
Unlike
remains in
rest of
there
her
though?
family had slept at a friend's cabin next door. Sheila found the bodies of her mother, Sue Sharp, her 15-year-old brother, Johnny Sharp, and Johnny's 17-year-old friend, Dana Wingate. Sheila's 12-year-old sister, Tina, was missing from the scene, but her remains would be found at a different time, a fact that we'll touch on later. The sister of the people who got murdered here, the next morning she walks in, finds most of her family brutally murdered. She was staying next door at a friend's house.
Yeah.
Cabin 28 was right here, and that's where she found the bodies of her mom, her brother, her brother's friend, and they couldn't find her sister.
Are you spooked knowing that there were just, you know, right around here?
Strangely, Sheila's 2 younger brothers, Greg, age 5, and Rick, age 10, were found in the cabin, in a bedroom, asleep and safe. In the same room,
What the?
also found asleep and safe, was the boy's friend, Justin Smart. When you look at the scene of the crime, it's tough to fathom how they could have slept through such a tragedy. It's very hard for me to believe that 3 people could have been asleep while it was happening in the same fucking house.
The woods get loud, though, is my only thing.
But you're in a cabin.
In a cabin. Were they in the same cabin in the
In the
room
same
next
cabin.
door?
So maybe they were in there telling ghost stories or something.
I don't think they were. They were probably asleep.
They could have. I mean, they could have been in there telling ghosts. You know how kids do, pillow talk, stuff like that.
That's not what pillow talk is.
That's what it was for me. Pillow talk
Like-
could either mean something you do after sex, or it could mean
Yeah, I think that's
it
what
could
that
mean
is.
what's like a sleepover.
Do you tell
talk.
ghost stories after sex?
That's me and my girlfriend.
You just spark up a cigarette. Let me tell you about the Keddie cabin murders.
Johnny, Dana, and Sue were all bound to some degree by electrical wiring. These weapons were found at the scene. A bent steak knife found on the floor, a bloodied butcher knife and claw hammer, both found on a small wooden table near the entryway to the kitchen. Blood splatters were found on the walls and ceiling, suggesting the kind of force used.
All very effective for
They stabbed
murdering.
them so hard the knife bent.
I think people get a little too hung up on that. It's not hard to bend a knife, right?
I
You ever
suppose.
you ever dip into a thing of ice cream
All
with a
I'm
spoon?
saying is there was a considerable amount of force. I have dipped a spoon into ice cream when
So,
it's not.
ice cream can bend a spoon.
When-
Why are we so...
Normally I dip the spoon in hot water though, and then I put it in the ice cream so I could get a nice clean scoop.
That's just smart.
It does look like this is pretty central to all the houses. So you would think that there'd be at least one witness. There was so much blood everywhere, and there was such force within the murders themselves. There was blood splattered on the ceilings, the walls. So whoever did this had to be covered in blood.
Yeah.
Maybe he went down that way, but it looks like
That's the forest.
you can't
No one's
imagine
gonna,
that.
you see someone running through the forest covered in blood, you're not gonna bat an eye. You'll probably just be like, oh, as you were.
That's not how the forest works.
You see someone in the forest covered in blood, you're gonna be like, excuse me, sir. Why are you covered
Well, I'm
in
not
blood?
gonna stop him, but maybe I'll like take a good look at what he looks like,
I'll
call
just
the
let
police, that sort of thing.
I'll just let them mind their own.
Okay, good. I'm glad to know that if you would be the worst crime scene witness of all time. Some background on Sue Sharp and her children. Sue Sharp had left a broken and abusive marriage and was described as a quiet woman who loved her kids. In 1980, Sue moved her kids to the Keddie area, where they lived in relative poverty. Let's return to the body of Tina Sharp, the one Sharp sibling missing from the cabin. Tina's skull would eventually be found due to an anonymous
Oh, what
tip
do you mean
falling
you
to the
did the
police
same,
on the
bro?
3rd anniversary of the murders. The skull was found about 50 miles away
Took
in
my
a
head.
whole other county. Aside from the timing, which is undoubtedly suspicious, what's truly dubious is the fact that the caller identified the skull as Tina's. But how could the caller have known that based on the skull alone?
Because the caller was the murderer.
That's what I'm suggesting.
Oh, you were phrasing it in a dramatic way.
Yeah, it's creepy. What is it about killers that they want to get caught so badly, or like they want to get as close to being caught without being caught? I guess I'm not. I can't put my mind into the mind of a
I
criminal.
guess it's the
I can.
thrill of it, maybe.
I think.
I don't know.
want to get caught. I think they do.
Or do you think they just want the notoriety, like the?
It's maybe a little bit of both.
Oh, looks like you're not good enough detectives to figure out what you've done. Here, let me throw you a bone.
Literally.
That's true.
Oh.
Let's go over the suspects, of which there were really only 2 examined by the police at the time. Marty Smart and his roommate, Bobo Betty, who lived 2 cabins down from the Sharps. Let's go over a possible motive. Marty Smart was married to Marilyn Smart, the mother of Justin Smart, who was one of the kids that was found alive and well in the cabin. Marty was reportedly an abusive husband, and there are reports that Sue Sharp had been counseling Marilyn on her marriage. When finding out about Sue's interference with his marriage, Marty reportedly went ballistic about it. Marty reportedly left for Reno, Nevada soon after the murders. Law enforcement at the time felt that the killer was, quote, more than one person, end quote. Hence them throwing Marty's roommate Bo, who was an ex-con, into the case as an accomplice.
Because 3 people's a lot for one person to kill silently all at once.
What do you think about his kid being in there and not dying?
Weird. So they're all just pals?
So yeah, they were all pals, and they were friends with this boy named Justin Smart. They were all sleeping in the same room in this cabin, and they were the ones left alone.
Interesting.
And this dad is the suspect. Marty Smart, dad of Justin Smart, does not kill his own son, and the other 2 Sharp boys were sleeping in the same room as his son.
Ah.
That's why it makes sense.
So they may have only lived if Marty's the killer because they were in the room with his son.
Exactly. Despite there being much more to this case, at the time, the investigation strangely stopped there. There was evidence that seemingly went unnoticed, and people of interest that may have not been vetted properly. The father of Dana Wingate, the friend of the Sharps that was also killed, said in 2001 that the police had, quote, stumbled over each other and fouled up the case, and he isn't alone in that line of thinking, as many suspect the police on the case may have been involved in a cover-up. At this point, the entire town is a suspect. You would imagine they're all closely knit and friends.
Well, I don't think they're great friends.
Oh, obviously, because someone murdered the
That's
other.
right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
Some of them must be friends.
Yeah.
Others would like to plunge knives into each other.
If I can imagine any of my friends murdering me.
I could imagine one friend of yours murdering you.
Is it you?
No.
Oh.
Former Sheriff Doug Thomas, who was sheriff at the time of the murder, is accused of a cover-up in many online theories, which allege that he was a close friend to Marty Smart at the time. Sheriff Thomas did say that he gave one session of advice to the Smart couple, which took place before the murders. However, Marilyn Smart does not recall the meeting with her husband Marty and the sheriff, but said that the 2 were not friends to her knowledge. Though, some consider Marilyn Smart a conspirator as well. The scariest thing about this is I'm pretty sure that there was a cover-up by the police department.
Police in the 70s, like 70s and 80s police were always just like, oh, you murdered someone? You got 40 bucks.
Former Sheriff Doug Thomas recently addressed these accusations. Quote, there was no shortage of suspects, but suddenly now everybody 35 years or so later have all figured out what happened and that all of the investigating officers were corrupt. It's laughable is what it is. Martin Smart was not a friend of mine. At one point, he and his wife were having marital problems, and they came to my office when I was sheriff and wanted me to counsel them. End quote.
Was he like a relationship counselor?
No, he was just it's a small town. I can imagine there was a practicing psychiatrist in the area.
That just seems like a weird decision if you're having marital troubles. Let's take this to the police.
I guess.
Maybe they'll help us. Mend us, Sheriff.
In 2013, the case was reopened by current Sheriff Greg Hagwood and Mike Gamberg, both of whom had personal connections to the victims of the case. Here's what Sheriff Hagwood had to say about the police cover-up theory. Quote, it has brought to light some amazing timelines, histories, and what some may call coincidence. Others may look at it more accusingly. I don't put anything outside the realm of possibility. Let's go over some interesting new developments brought on by the reopening of the case. The first development happened when Gamberg organized boxes of case reports and evidence from the case that had been shoved aside. What he found was a letter written by Marty Smart to his wife Marilyn, reportedly written soon after the murders. It reads, quote, I've paid the price for your love, and now that I've bought it with 4 people's lives, you tell me we are through? Great. What else do you want?
So why would she want him to murder people?
The theory before had mentioned that they were going through problems. Sue Sharp had tried to counsel them, and he saw it as her meddling with his marriage, and maybe she got annoyed by it too. There must be something else here because that seems like pretty strong evidence that he did this. I guess he never really went out and said, I killed them.
Right.
He could be speaking in it like metaphorically.
I do sort of love the language here, though. You tell me we're through. Great. What else do you want? I murdered people for you.
I know.
And now what?
Clearly she's the jerk in this one.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Oh, so I'm the psycho because I murdered 4 people.
Oh, because I murdered 4 people. Ruined that perfectly good life.
Marilyn doesn't recall receiving the letter. However, she did recognize her ex-husband Marty's handwriting. So this must be why he's not indicted, because maybe they can't make it absolute that it is his handwriting indeed.
What, the police were just writing fanfic?
Yeah, what the fuck is this? It was maybe, unless someone wanted to implicate him in the murders. Also, but it was in an evidence box. It was official evidence. So
And if she recognizes his handwriting,
there's something weird going on in this little town.
something doesn't add up. Something stinks.
The second development
Stinks.
was something also found in those boxes of case files. Gamberg found the taped anonymous phone call that tipped off the location of the remains of Tina Sharp. The audio of that 911 call is now being compared with audio of suspects looking for a match, though it's worth mentioning that the tape was never voice analyzed at the time. Here's current investigator Sheriff Hagwood on that tape. Quote, why that sat in a sealed evidence envelope never opened, I don't have the answer to that, but we have it now, end quote. This is just baffling to me.
Yeah.
It looks like they solved anything that was remotely possible of helping them solve the case. They're like, box it up.
Yeah.
Put it in
Really no way.
Closet.
That
Put
requires
some
real
coats
work.
over it. They have to put this thing to rest and probably, right the wrongs, bring people to justice. I guess that's technically their job.
Yeah, that's what they
Can
get
you
paid to do.
imagine how much goddamn paperwork is involved in that?
Holy shit.
So much.
You gotta do your job, man.
You got to do your job. 10% of your population was just murdered.
Yeah.
Time to look into that one.
The third development came from Gamberg speaking to Marty Smart's former therapist in Reno, Nevada. Apparently, Marty had confessed to the murders in a session. The therapist reportedly told Gamberg that even he was surprised that the investigators at the time of the murders hadn't used that confession against Marty.
Here's a question. The therapist. So you're a therapist. Someone comes to you. Oh, I got some troubles. Oh, yeah? Like what? Well, I murdered 4 people. Okay, well, I'll see you next week. Take a little drive, go to the police station. Hey, quick note. This guy said he murdered 4 people in your town. Police go, okay,
you drive back to Reno, and then you don't hear anything else about it. You're done? That's it?
Think of it this way. If you told someone so point blank that that happened and they did nothing, do you really think you're gonna go back to follow up? Because if the police don't give a shit, in my mind, oh hey, maybe the police were involved.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't go back and be like, hey, you boys should start doing your jobs.
I want to talk to that
You should
therapist.
start going. The fourth development was the discovery that a man had found a steel blue-handled claw hammer using a metal detector near a pond near Ketty. The hammer matched the description of one that Marty had told investigators he'd lost. As of late November 2016, it was being tested for DNA or blood residue as a possible additional murder weapon. Dude, what in the world? Why is there so much just stuff dumped around here?
Because it's a shanty town, Ryan.
It's a ghost town, yeah, that makes sense. You hear that?
Yeah, it's a car.
Oh, maybe he dumped some stuff in the river down here.
River's rather full. I think on account of the monsoon.
I don't know if this is the actual pond that Marty Smart dumped his claw hammer in, but weird that he would dump a murder weapon when he left the other three in the house if it was him, in fact, who did it. Here's Sheriff Hagwood on the current status of the case. Quote, there are people locally who know more than they've said, and I believe we've identified some,
That's true.
and we know who they are, and we know where they are, and I have every confidence that they either participated after the fact or they have first-hand information, end quote. It's worth mentioning that Hagwood said that there are at least 6 of these people of interest, all of which are alive. It does chill me that they don't know who did it.
No. They could be looking at us through a window right now. There's smoke coming from over there. What do you suppose is in here?
I'm not looking in there.
Want me to look in there?
Wait. It's probably just...
What is it?
I don't know what the fuck that is. Maybe it's like an old part of the chimney.
Yeah.
Looks like a black widow bite.
In regards
Yeah.
to the killers being Marty Smart and Bobo Betty, Hagwood said this, quote, it's a theory that we are working, to the degree possible, to conclude or dismiss. There's a disproportionate amount of evidence and information that tends to point in that direction, end quote. Yeah, we have a confession letter.
A therapist?
We have a therapist who said that he confessed.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Gosh, that is pretty disproportionate.
how many more forms do you need that in? As of now, nobody has been charged, though you can rest easy knowing
Right.
Hagwood and Gamberg continue to dig deeper on what really happened that one night in Cabin 28. Here's one final thought from Sheriff Hagwood. Quote, there is not an expiration date on homicides, and to the extent that we have surviving siblings and family members, it is our fundamental obligation to them to understand who did this and why, end quote. And I'm pretty sure we're being watched, so I kind of
Yeah.
want to leave, to be
Maybe-
honest.
maybe
I
time
think
to
I've had
go.
enough of Ketty, and I haven't even been here that long.
No.
I hate this place. Sheila Sharp, one of the surviving members of the Sharp family, said this of Hagwood, quote, finally, I have somebody who cares. In the last 3 years, he's done more than the Plumas County Sheriff's Office has done in the previous 32 years. Major shade being thrown appropriately.
Well, yeah, I mean, her family was murdered, so...
And no one seemed to give a shit.
Right.
Collectively, the whole town went, Sheila personally believes that the murders of her family were carried out by Marty Smart and Bobo Betty. Final verdict, what do you think?
I'm leaning toward Marty. I'm interested to see where this goes. I hope the boys get a
Mhm.
break in the case.
I agree.
Perhaps one day, Hagwood and Gamberg will finally confirm those suspicions. But for now, the devastating case of the Ketty Cabin murders remains unsolved.
What's this? Why does it not show the date? I just want to see the date. God. I don't. What? Okay. Was a while ago. Yeah, that's fucked up. Anywho. I think that's all for today. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. But, yeah. Okay. Uh, I'm not. Let me see if there's someone streaming that I could raid. Maybe. But yeah, thank you guys for coming today. It was really fun. Also, we're gonna have a movie night. We're gonna watch Mugen Train on Sunday. Yeah. So feel free to join if you want. Okay, not gonna read anyone. Yeah, Demon Slayer. Yeah, okay. Bye bye. Take care, everyone.